Humans of the cardboard. We are right back at it once again. We're getting into more news here. We have the reveal of the new V Jump promo. Drawbread we'll take a look at. It's a new spell card that has some draw type effects, as well as the Dual Academia selection pack kind of revealed here. So it's 3 cards. It's the Elements of Hero card, Thunder Giant Voltic Thunder, Light Water Dragon, as well as Drill Arm Dragon. We'll get to those second. Let's start with the V Jump promo here on what this card does. This card is a normal spell card. I love the artwork on it, by the way. The artwork's just fun. It's just cute. It's cool. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. If you have a monster in your graveyard, pay 200 life points to draw 1 card and reveal it. Then, if it is a monster, apply this effect based on its attribute. If the attribute is different from all the monsters in your graveyard, you can draw an additional card. If the attribute is different from all the monsters in your graveyard, or I'm sorry, is the same as all the monsters in your, or any monster in your graveyard, you have to then discard 1 card. It's interesting. I mean, it's probably not good enough to play, to be honest, because you can't even just. I think just the fact that you have to have a monster in your graveyard is maybe enough to kind of kill this card. The fact that you can't start with it to find a starter to dig deeper into a better hand without already putting stuff in grave is probably already a nail in the coffin for this card. That makes Upstart probably in a lot of scenarios just better than this card as a consistency card. But there are some intriguing parts of this if you are playing a deck that has a bunch of different monsters that are a bunch of different attributes. And so you are feeling fairly confident any point that like when you draw a card and it's a monster that like you should have a good chance at drawing an additional card. And then you're talking about a pretty good card. You're just pot of greeting there. I just don't think I believe it all the way. Because it just doesn't start your plays. Like it's just not a starter. There's a world of this card's fine, but I just don't fully believe in it. Right, like sometimes this card is just Upstart Goblin, but worse, right? In needing the setup and paying 200 life points. Sometimes it is just significantly better than Upstart by drawing a monster, having it be a different attribute from all the monsters in your grave and getting an additional draw. Then it's just strong enough where it might be worth over Upstart Goblin. And then there are scenarios where you have to discard a card because the attributes do line up, and even that's not really what we're looking for overall. So just okay. I honestly, it's a fun card. This is a card for like more casual formats. This card I actually think could be kind of fun, but I just don't see it for competitive Yu-Gi-Oh here, which is fine. And that's kind of what we've seen with a lot of promos over the last couple of years, but nothing crazy. All right, let's take a look at these. We have our new Elemental Hero card, Thunder Giant Voltic Thunder. Love it. This card requires any 2 elemental heroes with different attributes. I love that it's generic like that and not specifically requiring Sparkman or Clayman there. That's really nice. You can only use the first or second effect of this card once per turn. If this card is special summoned and your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can destroy all other cards on the field. Whoa. That's pretty nice. Yeah, okay. Yeah, straight up. This is a pretty powerful tool going second already. There's even a world where even going first, if you have a quick way to fuse into this, this is also just special summon on special summon. So you've already made this. You have a way to just reborn this, it'll trigger. But even in a world where you just have a way to like not end on a ton of cards on field, let your opponent commit, and then quick fuse into this, you could wipe a whole board. Pretty nifty. All right, nice. Second effect, you contribute this card, fusion summoned using a normal monster as material, then target an elemental hero monster in your graveyard, special summon it. That's not awful either. I mean, how often are we actually making this with a vanilla? I would imagine not super often, or at least that's not the goal. Not that it would never happen, but you're probably not trying to, unless a hero player wants to tell me down below why standard lines would make you make this using a vanilla. Then that's cool, but as far as my expectations would be, I wouldn't think you would be trying to do that. But that first effect is already good enough on its own, you know what I mean? Just wiping a board into a board, or even quick doing it to have a really powerful interruption. Definitely some cool applications there. Next up, we take a look at our new light water dragon. This was my favorite one just based on the artwork, but we'll see how it works. This is a light water dragon, sea serpent monster, water, level 4, 14, 13 for the stats. This card's name is always treated as water dragon. I Do they have cards that search water dragon specifically? I guess if they do, that makes this card more obtainable, but cool. You can only use this card's effect once per turn. Has one effect, so it better be strong. You can banish this card you control as cost to special summon 3 level 5 or lower water and or wind dinosaur monsters from your deck in defense position, but their effects are negated. Also, you cannot special summon from the X deck for the rest of this turn except dinosaur and sea serpent monsters. Okay. I mean, so what? Like we're summoning Hydrogeddons and Oxygeddons. This card, like as a normal summon, is just summoning all 3 materials you would need to send to to summon Water Dragon to the field. That's fun. This card's not terrible for like in the confines of like the bonding H2O deck. Unfortunately, the win con for that deck is pretty terrible, and even this card is just so rough. Like Ash Impulse, if this card gets hand trapped, you lose the game. Probably. So yeah, it's a cool card. Maybe if they got like really crazy support around a card like this, because this could be a central starter for the deck. But yeah, if this is your central starter, this card's just about as frail as, Lone Fire Blossom, stuff like that. So it kind of becomes a little bit tough to kind of base a deck around a card like this. But overall, it's stronger than I kind of thought it would be relative to like, what I would expect for a bonding H2O support card to be. But that's fun. And lastly, here we end up with Drill Armed Dragon. I always thought this one was the most intriguing of the 3, just because like the Armed Dragon deck already has like its own E-Telly. So if this card is just generically good in a vacuum, like it could have some applications for like a Dragon Link, variant and stuff like that. So let's see how it goes. This is a Wind Dragon, of course, level 3, 1100 attack, 400 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card once per turn. You can send this card and one other wind monster from your hand to the graveyard. For the rest of this turn, all wind dragon monsters you control will gain 300 attack. That's so terrible. That's so awful. It's crazy, but okay. Second effect, you can banish any number of dragon monsters that are level 7 or higher and or wind from your graveyard as cost to add a dragon monster from your deck to your hand with a level equal to the number banished. Okay. I mean, to be fair, like if you just have one wind monster, or sorry, one wind dragon or one level 7 or higher dragon engrave, this card does at least just like Stratos you for a level 1 dragon. So there's that. The problem is it searches based on levels. So like if we're not banishing 4, we're never getting to like a legit really good level 4 dragon. So like how many other low level dragons are actually good enough? To be honest, I don't know off the top of my head. Somebody who actually knows more about Dragon Link and just good generic dragon monsters would have a better idea. But just seems okay to me. It's just fine. I mean, I don't even remember how good the other armed dragon cards are. So like using their E-Telly, I don't even know if this is like their best target, but like it seems fine. It's just not a starter, right? It requires setup and grave. But there is at least an E-Telly that gets you to it. So that's like at least the one saving grace there. But I don't know. Just fine. To be honest, the winner here is honestly the hero card. I think it just gives hero like a pretty good tool going second to like white boards, potentially easier than they were doing it before. So that's cool. But the water dragon, we knew this one didn't have that much hope just because of the archetype it's in. Armor dragon, unfortunately, not quite as good as it needed to be for generic dragon support. And drawbread is fun, but like kind of like a more conditional upstart goblin in most scenarios. So just okay to me. But yeah, that's kind of where I land on them. Nothing too crazy. Let me know your thoughts down below. I don't play any of these decks. I don't really play them all too often. So like hero, especially Bonnie H2O and like Dragon Link, If there's any applications that I'm maybe didn't mention here, please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below on some cool things these cards might allow you to do in their decks that maybe I'm just not privy to at the moment. But that's kind of my overall thoughts. Just okay, nothing crazy. But yeah, that's kind of what we got. So there you go. We're kind of in this little lull. Every time we finish the reveals for a core set, we end up in this slight lull in between core sets and getting back into more common news stuff, trying to work on some other video stuff for you. But in the meantime, we're kind of waiting on small news droppings like this one. And, I'll keep you guys updated on that, of course, in the meantime. So I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one from me down the line. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.